Welcome back to Man the Helm. Today, let's learn a lick. So this is a lick I posted over on Instagram quite a while back, and I've been really digging this sort of thing. Learned it from the great Andy Wood. He was talking about some pentatonic stuff, and this is one of the ideas that I kind of got out of this. Gear for today's video will be my awesome Jet JT 300. That'll be going into my Focusrite Solo, and I'll be using bias effects for all of the shreddy McShred shred. So let's break this lick down a little bit. What's really happening here is I'm taking like a 3-note per string, A major. So if you're not familiar with that, that's the shape 1 of the major scale and like that modal structure of Ionian, if you want to call it that. I don't particularly like to say that because it's just the major scale. But what we're doing here is we're taking that and we're kind of combining it along with the relative minor. Now, if you're not familiar with how to get to those relative minors, pretty much the 6th note of that scale is going to be that relative minor. So if we play the first 7 notes of that scale that we have right here, which is the full A major scale. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That note right there, that is going to be F sharp in this case when we're playing in A major. So whenever we look at this, what we're doing is we're combining not only this A major scale, but I'm also taking aspects of like F sharp minor pentatonic and throwing that along with it, okay? So let's talk about the lick itself. So if we're going to start this off, the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off with a hammer-on from nowhere. And pretty much we're going to hammer on that 5th fret of our low E string. We're not going to pick anything. We're not going to do anything like that. We're just going to hammer on that 5th fret. From there, we're going to hammer on our 7th and 9th fret with our ring finger and pinky finger. If you want to use your middle finger, you can do that too. I prefer to use that ring finger though. So those first 3 notes. Now, when we incorporate the tapping part of it, remember what I talked about. We're playing up here up to that minor pentatonic F sharp. And where we're going to tap is that 14th fret where that F sharp is at on our low E string. So first 4 notes. Now, that's the pattern that we're going to utilize for everything we're going to do here. The only difference is we're just going to skip every other string. So that's our first 4 notes. The next 4 notes that we're going to hit, we're going to drop down to our D string, and we're going to hit that 6th fret, 7th fret, and 9th fret. Same thing as before. We're going to do a hammer on from nowhere on that 6th fret of our D string, hammer on to 7th fret, and then hammer on to that 9th fret. Index finger, tap that 14th fret on your D string. So, first 6 notes. From here, we're going to go back to that A string. So, this will be the same shape that we did on the low E. So, we're going to go hammer on from nowhere on the 5th fret of our A string, hammer on to the 7th fret of A string, and then hammer on to the 9th fret of your A string. Index finger, tap that 14th fret of your A string. Continuing on that pattern, we're going to go down to that G, 6th fret, hammer on from nowhere, hammer on to the 7th fret, hammer on to the 9th fret, and tap on that 15th fret. So what we have so far. Now we're just going to keep this pattern going. So we're going to go back to our D string now. Hammer on from nowhere, 6th fret. Hammer on 7th fret. Hammer on 9th fret. Tap 14th fret. Go to our B string. Hammer on from nowhere on the 7th fret. Hammer on to the 9th fret. hammer on to the 10th fret, tap, 14th fret. Then we're going to go back to that G. Now to finish off this ascending run, we're going to go E string, hammer on from nowhere, 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, 14th fret, and then slide that up to our 17th fret. So whole thing all together for the ascending pattern. So you can see we're just combining those two shapes, and really the only tapping that we're doing is on that 14th fret. We're doing hammer-ons from nowhere and we're skipping every other string whenever we do that. So ascending pattern one more time. Now when we get to the descending pattern, we got to change up just a few things. We're still going to keep the same sort of structure of doing hammer-ons from nowhere, string skipping and stuff like that. A lot of pull-offs this time since we're descending though. So we've already slid up to that 17th fret on our high E. That's going to be the first note that we're going to hit in that descending pattern. Pull off, and your hand is still going to be right here at that 10th fret on your low E. Pull off to the 9th fret, and then pull off to the 7th fret. Go to our G string. This time we're going to hit the 16th fret on G. Pull off to that 9th fret on G. Pull off to your 7th fret on G. And then pull off to the 6th fret on G. Tap again, 17th fret on your B string. Still keeping that pattern going of the string skipping. Pull off to that 10th fret on B, pull off to the 9th fret on B, and pull off to that 7th fret. Tap on your 16th fret of D now, pull off to that 9th fret, pull off to 7th fret, pull off to the 6th fret. Back to G. Go up to that A string, 16th. 9, 7, 5, back to D, 16, 9, 7, 6, and to end this off, 17th fret on our low E, 9, 7, 5. So the descending run all together. So start to get a little bit more familiar with that sort of shape. Play it slow, kind of work your way up to that sort of Now it's a pretty cool lick, some things to watch out for on the descending run. Not only are we going between, different shapes that we have to hit on our fretting hand, but we're also alternating between our 17th and our 16th fret for tapping. Just try to visualize that minor pentatonic. Wherever that second note would be at in that minor pentatonic, that's where you're going to be tapping at. So it's a pretty cool lick. It's a lick that you can utilize in a lot of different areas. Pretty much the same rule is going to apply regardless of what key you play in. Like if I wanted to play it in G, I would just shift down instead of playing in that F sharp minor pentatonic area. Play it in that E minor pentatonic area. So same idea is going to go across the board. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do like this sort of content, please consider subscribing, liking this video, commenting down below, all the good things, and we will check you guys on the next video.